Mike Bohn here in Norfolk, Virginia with Brendan Allen, who meets Tom Breeze on Saturday night. Brendan, big fight for you here. Obviously, UFC fight number 2. Just how's this one compare to the UFC debut?
Nothing different for me. I'm just ready to go out there and get to work and get a win. That's really it. I'm not focused on anything. I'm just staying true to the course and doing what I need to do to be prepared for fight night.
Yeah, and I know you were calling for that Eric Anders rematch originally. Any disappointment that didn't come together, or was there any discussion of that even happening?
I never heard anything on it. There's not really any disappointment. I want to fight those guys, Trevin Giles, Eric Anders, Anthony Hernandez. I really want to fight those guys no matter what. But at the end of the day, I'm going to fight whoever comes across that contract.
Mm-hmm. That's good, right? Because at least maybe you didn't get it this time, but they're all present. They're all doing relatively good things. So as long as you kind of all are trending upwards, it seems like those opportunities may come for you.
Yeah, definitely. As long as I handle business Saturday night and get the win, hopefully a good finish like always, then hopefully it opens the door for Trevin Giles. That'd be something I'm very interested in, with Eric having a fight lined up with Joko and Hernandez having Puna. So Trevin's really the only one open. So we'll see what happens Saturday, though. Got to get through Tom first.
Yeah, just a quick note on Trevin. What did you think of that fight that he just had? I mean, somewhat controversy around that decision and everything. Did you think he won?
No, I don't. I gave it to Kraus. Like, I don't see how you cannot give the first round to Kraus. He had his back for, 4 minutes? So, I don't know. I don't see it. But overall, it was still a great fight. They went to war. And
fight of the night.
Definitely. It was a great fight. They put it on the line. So, much respect to both of those guys.
For sure. And obviously, back to you. Tom Breeze is a guy, he's had one fight in 4 years. How do you kind of scout a guy like this where, I guess, first of all, were you surprised to get this matchup, just considering he's not really been present in this weight class much?
So, I knew the name, but I didn't know where I knew the name. I couldn't put a face to it. So I had to go look, watch his tapes, and, like I said at first glance, he's good. But really going into details on his fights, seeing his habits and things like that, at least from his previous fights, because like you said, he's not very active. He's got a good bit of holes in his game that I plan to exploit, but I can't prepare for that guy. I prepare for a newer guy, a better guy, a faster guy, because he has still been in the gym, I think, and he's still improving. So, yeah, I was a little surprised. I was a little nervous. I see he pulls sometimes for injuries and, whatever his other matters are. So I was a little nervous with that, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I know I'm well-rounded enough to fight anybody in the division, so I just focus on myself.
Yeah, and hopefully, everything works out. But here we are on fight week, so it seemed to go pretty good. But you touched on it a little bit there. I mean, he was at welterweight for so long, and then he moved up and had the one middleweight fight. You don't really know what to take away from those parts, and they were so long ago. So was the focus so much of here not maybe so much on strategy and him, but more about yourself?
Yeah, it's always on myself. I looked at him. All his fights seem to be the same. He still does the same things, no matter how far apart they were. Like if it was his first fight or his last fight, he has the same tendencies. I heard he moved back to Birmingham and trains with Leon Edwards and them again. So, maybe it might be something different, but we'll see come Saturday. I'm not really expecting too much. I am focused on myself. I'm focused on my abilities. And I'm ready to adapt to whatever he's gonna bring fight night.
Yeah, and you said, of course, the hope is for another finish. Is there an avenue in particular that you see to getting that done?
I think just touching him up on the feet and making him really think like if I go to strike and he's still getting hit, it's gonna make him shoot. And I'm definitely just gonna beat him up there. There's obviously some things I have to watch on the ground, his leg locks and things like that, but I think I'm gonna TKO him. I think that's where it's going to go, or he's going to give me a submission. So a TKO, or he's going to give me a submission. But either way, I definitely feel I'll finish him within 3.
Very nice. And last thing, we mentioned some of the fights you potentially hope to get after this one. But what does 2020 look like for you in your mind? I mean, you got the Contender Series fight fought in October. Here you are in February. What does kind of the trajectory look like? Where are we talking about you at this time next year?
Oh, it's tough because it just depends, man. The new contracts coming and things like that. After the next one I can renegotiate. So we'll see what happens and what they give me. But hopefully with a win over Tom, I'll get one of my losses in International Fight Week. I'd like to keep to this kind of the same schedule as last year. I liked it February, June or July, and then October. That just works out great for me. I love that era, and especially with my little girl, I get to be home with her. So we'll see where it goes as far as rankings and things like that. But I definitely want to climb the ladder, and only way I'm going backwards is by fighting one of my losses.
Sure. Makes sense. Well, it all goes down Saturday night. Really looking forward to seeing you back in there. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.